Hello and welcome to our Bulletproof Your Goals system. Thank you so much, Lana and Julie, for inviting me here once again. And I hope you guys find some value here in the session today. You will need a pen and paper. So that way it's going to be practical and you will have something tangible to take away. So go ahead and find a pen and paper. Feel free to press pause, and I'll be here when you get back. All right. Hopefully you have a pen and paper, and I'd love to help you create the mindset that you need to succeed. It's very easy to not succeed. And so today I really want to dispel some of the myths and show you exactly how I manifest all of my goals and all of my dreams, because you can do it too. The first thing that I'd love to talk about is that dreaded word, fear. Now, fear either drives you or destroys you. And fear has three main purposes. One, it can limit you. So fear is the limiting factor that stops you from working towards what you want. So the reason that you haven't achieved goals that you've set before is most probably because of some sort of fear. Now, we're going to delve into mindsets as well in just a little bit so that you can understand how fear is actually what makes you operate in a negative or a fixed mindset. It's only fear. Fear can also distract you, so it precedes procrastination and it leads to excuses. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I have procrastinated a lot in my life, and sometimes I still do. And the reason that we procrastinate is because of fear. Some sort of a fear, usually because we don't want to feel the discomfort of the effort that we know that we must put in to something. And it's that little niggling fear, just not wanting to feel some sort of discomfort that makes us self-sabotage. And self-sabotage will look like procrastination. Self-sabotage will look like excuses. And self-sabotage is, in fact, controlled and governed by fear. Now, fear does serve a good purpose. It helps you. It helps you in life or death situations, especially when our sixth sense starts to kick in. So I want you to think about when you're driving or if you've ever had a car accident, I should say. I've had a car accident before, and what happens is our brain is so magnificent. It's just miraculous, because when you go into a state of absolute fear, it puts your brain in this slow motion state so that way you can assess the situation and see what move to make next. Now, the reason that fear helps you is because it's a normal evolutionary response. Think of the hunter-gatherer days when people were hunting. And if there was a bear chasing somebody, then again, the brain will go into that slow motion state to understand, like, okay, there's a bear right there. What do I do? Do I run? Do I climb this tree? What do I do? Just so that way you can help yourself in that situation. Now, fear has taken a beating lately. You can see the rates of anxiety have increased, and that is living in a state of fear. It's limiting you completely, it's distracting you completely, and it's not serving the purpose that it was put here for, which is to help you for whatever reason, mainly when you're in a life or death situation or a scary situation. Now, no matter how many mistakes you make or how slow your progress is, you're still way ahead of anyone that isn't trying. So just being here today on this workshop shows me, and it shows you, that you are willing to make mistakes, you are willing to learn, you are willing to make some sort of progress each day, and you are way ahead of the game. Just being here shows that you're putting in effort for yourself. Just being part of this 6-week challenge proves to yourself that you are one step ahead of the friend that you know that's not part of this challenge. So you are making progress, my friend. So congratulations on being part of this 6-week reset challenge. The fixed mindset, the fear-based mindset, is a mindset where you confront failure with an attitude of giving up rather than trying harder. So people that are in a fixed mindset usually just throw their hands up in the air and say, oh, this is too hard. I'm not doing it anymore. Sorry, I just can't commit. Sorry, I don't have the time. Whatever the excuse is, whatever the procrastination is, whatever the fear is, a fixed mindset will rather just give up instead of trying. People in a fixed mindset believe that people's talents are just a birth right, that people can't improve, that you are just as you are. And if you're not good at something, then you'll never be good at something. That's what a fixed mindset believes. It's quite depressing. But having a fixed mindset does serve a purpose sometimes. It serves a purpose, for example, when you're driving. When you're driving on autopilot, you might be talking to someone on your Bluetooth on the phone, or women, you might be putting on some lip gloss, but you know how to drive. Why does that happen? Because you're in a fixed mindset. So you know exactly what to do. You don't have to think too hard. You're on autopilot. It just is the way that it is. A growth mindset is when you operate from a state of love. So not fear, but love. Okay, so I want you to think of a fixed mindset being controlled by fear and a growth mindset being controlled by love. In a growth mindset, you believe that you can accomplish your goals, your desires, your dreams through hard work, self-confidence, effort, and a positive attitude. People in a growth mindset are not afraid of failures because they know that that's an opportunity to grow or to learn. People in a growth mindset understand that they may require coaching. They might require extra skills to invest in so that they can become better at what it is that they need to become better at. When I started to sing, I wasn't naturally gifted. So I paid and I invested in singing teachers to help me to learn how to use my breath and how to use my voice and what it is that I needed. I've invested in life coaches because I didn't know how to do life well, because the environment that I got brought up in was a very closed-minded upbringing. So I went and invested in many coaches, healers, therapists, so that I could learn what it is that I needed to learn to live my best life. A growth mindset is the mindset that you must be in so that this bulletproof system will work for you. Are you ready? Are you ready to grow? Here we go. When you go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, a new world of possibilities opens up. It's absolutely amazing. Just doing that slight shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset where you say, I am open to try. I am willing to try. I will give it my best. Just that tiny shift will help open up a new world of possibilities and help you to achieve the goals that we're going to set today. Growth is optional, but there's always room for it. And you're here, which tells me that you want to grow. So well done. I want you to value the whole 6 weeks that's coming up. I want you to value every single week. I want you to value the whole process, not just your end goal, not just your result. Just like a gymnast, an Olympian, they don't have an easy run for their money. They work hard and they know how to pivot every time there's a challenge. They know how to adapt to a challenge. If they can't do something, then they will find a way. They will train extra harder. They will put more effort in. They will put more focus in. And that's the beauty of achieving a goal, valuing that whole process, that big mess that you go through until you reach the end result. So whenever you're at your gym, whenever you're hating the burpees, whenever you're cooking your meals, whenever you're making a choice of what to eat or what not to eat, I want you to congratulate yourself and pat yourself on the back and understand that this is part of the process of achieving your goal. I want you to think about who you don't want to become. We spend a lot of time thinking about who it is that we do want to become and what goals we do want to achieve, but sometimes I find it very important to become crystal clear in exactly who you don't want to become. In the screen that you can see right in front of you, you can see a whole bunch of areas down the bottom. So I'm going to show you who I don't want to become in all of these areas. And I want you to get your pen and paper out in case I say something that might resonate with you. And I want you to get crystal clear before we move on who you don't want to become. In mental health, the first area, I don't want to become an angry person that is controlled by a short temper. So my father, for example, has a short temper and he can be very negative and angry. So in my mental health, I don't want to become a negative person and I don't want to become an angry person. My physical health, I don't want to become a lazy person. Relationship, I don't want to become a nagging girlfriend. In my career, I don't want to become someone that has regrets from not taking opportunities that I have available to me now. I don't want to become 80 years old and look back at my life and think, why didn't I just take that opportunity? In personal development, I don't want to become someone that becomes comfortable with where I'm at. I always want to grow. I always want to learn. I always want to master something. In my family, I don't want to be known as the bitter sister-in-law. You know, we've had family dramas and I have done everything from my part to achieve forgiveness and love so that I don't live with resentment and anger and hatred. Friendships, I don't want to become a friend that neglects a friendship, especially if it's a close friendship. So I will do things to water and nourish that friendship so it continually grows. Money, I don't want to become that person that says I can't afford this and I can't afford that. I want to be someone that has a budget. I want to be someone that saves. I want to be someone that manages money effectively. So press pause right now, and I want you to spend a few minutes writing out who you don't want to become. Off you go. All right, I hope you got a lot of clarity from that tiny little activity, who you don't want to become. Sometimes if the environment that you've been brought up in has someone that you don't want to be like or someone that gave you negative experiences, these answers will be influenced by that. And that's okay. Just a little interesting fact. Now, let's move on to your goals. Okay, so we know who we don't want to become. We know that we need a growth mindset to achieve our goals. We're here. We're ready. We're in the right mindset. I want you to split up a page into 3 columns, and I would love for you to pop the headings goals, values, and habits. And for the purpose of this 6-week reset challenge, you have your own reason for being here. And every reason is absolutely valid. So what I want you to do is watch how I work this goal system so that you can then do yours. The first thing to think about is the goals that you want to achieve. I have put this example here. I want to do 10 toe push-ups, chest to floor, on my toes, be strong, be amazing, and do 10 toe push-ups. So what are your goals? I want you to spend a couple of minutes now writing out your goals. They could include nutrition. So maybe one of your goals is, I want to have a protein source in my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. Amazing goal. Maybe you have a mindset goal. I want to be motivated to train 5 times a week. Whatever it is. And if you have any goals in any of the areas that I just mentioned, feel free to add them here too. This system is absolutely bulletproof, and you will manifest and accomplish the goals if you just follow the system. So press pause. If you haven't pressed pause, make sure you write all your goals. And let's move on to the second column, which is values. What are values? Values are what you find important to yourself. Okay, so my value as a person, what is important to me? Trust, honesty, loyalty, adventure, fun, personal growth. It's huge for me. Health, positive mindset. Okay, so they're my values as a person, right? So think about what drives you. What are your values? The only way you become unhappy is to move out of alignment with your values. So that's another important exercise that I usually work with my clients on for identity, to understand who you are. Now, I want you to look at values now in alignment with your goals. Okay, so these are going to be different to your personal values. We are now creating values to achieve the goal. All right, so I've done an example here for you so you can understand. The values that I need to achieve the goal of doing 10 toe push-ups, I believe for myself, will be being consistent, motivated, being organized is very important, having gratitude, and being healthy. So these things are important to me. Self-care, you might need to put that in here. So Lana, for example, has a goal of reaching a 100-kilo deadlift. Amazing goal. Now with deadlifts, right, and lifting heavy, you'll need to care for your body. So self-care has to be popped in here, because you might need to do a massage or stretch session or something. So press pause right now and go ahead and write all your values. Feel free to borrow some that I've written. Off you go. All right, welcome back. The third part, habits. These are the essential things that you must have in order to achieve the goals. These habits must be habits to be in alignment with your values, okay, to reach the goal. They all work together. So here's an example of mine. For being organized and consistent and healthy, one of my habits is to book my training 1 week in advance, because I know if it's not booked, it can get missed. For my value of being healthy and motivated and organized, I must meal prep 3 to 7 days ahead, because I lead a busy life. Sometimes the last thing I want to do is cook a meal when I am exhausted. So if I have meals prepped, easy. If you don't have time for meal prep, you go to Coles, you go to Woolworths, you go to Aldi, and you can now purchase meals that have the right macronutrient portions, like my Muscle Chef. So you have the right amount of protein, the right amount of carb, the right amount of fat. Sometimes it's the best $10 I spend. Aldi even has some cool meals for like $5. So sometimes it's cheaper to buy a prepped meal nowadays than to cook your own. to be motivated and to live in gratitude. I listen to health podcasts, such as my own, your coach, Helen Uskovic. I can't tell you how many times I scroll back on my episodes to remind myself how to do a certain thing. There's other amazing podcasts as well that you can listen to. To remain motivated and consistent and healthy, I do things like joining upcoming challenges, exactly what you're doing with the 6-week reset challenge. This is the perfect way to stay motivated, to help yourself be consistent, organized, grateful, healthy. Exercising 5 times a week must be a habit for me. When I don't exercise, I don't feel my best. And there is so much research now to say why you feel amazing when you exercise. Just our muscles contracting changes the way that our brain functions. And you can't bottle the benefits of exercise in a pill. It's impossible. You have to do it. And the reason it's so important and why everyone tells you, even the government tells you, you must exercise. There's a reason why, because it's too good. It should be an essential habit for absolutely everybody. So well done you for showing up, for going to the gym, for exercising, and just putting in effort to help yourself. Meditation keeps me grateful, keeps me motivated, keeps me consistent, keeps me healthy. Meditation just resets my whole nervous system every single day. For Lana, for example, with the deadlifts, stretching and foam rolling once a week will help to prevent injuries and will help her to perform better. Same with me with my 10-toe push-ups. And practicing my push-up form every second day. I have a goal to reach 10 push-ups. So I have to make it a habit to practice a push-up. So Lana, for example, her goal is to reach an 100-kilogram deadlift. So her habit must be to practice her deadlift form and her technique and to progressively overload so that she can reach that 100-kilo mark. So press pause right now and go ahead and write your habits. Off you go. All right. Hopefully you wrote a whole bunch of habits. I use this system for everything. Absolutely everything. If there's something that I want to achieve, it's bulletproof. You cannot not get your results if you stick to the habits and know the values that you must have to achieve the goal that you want. You can always reset. You can always readjust. You can always refocus, and you can always restart. This is the perfect time to reset for the year. I know that I ate a few too many calories at Christmas time. Maybe we all did. It's always okay to readjust. So if you feel like the goal is unattainable, you can readjust the goal. If Lana is at week 3 and she's only at a 60-kilo deadlift, maybe she needs to readjust the goal to a 90-kilo deadlift. But you can always readjust things, just like an Olympian. If there's something that you're not reaching or there's something that you're not attaining, it is okay to readjust your goals. It's not the end of the world, and you just remain in an open growth mindset and you realize, hey, there's something I can learn here. I need to pivot. What do I need to do? Remember, if you're not achieving your goal, you must change your course of action. If you're not achieving the goal, then what you're doing right now isn't working. So what you have to do is a different approach. Whatever it is, just change the action. You can always refocus. So if you stuff up, if you blow out a meal, if you binge, it's okay. Just get focused again. Jump in the group, reach out to Lana, reach out to Julie and just say, whoa, I need help. I'm not focused at all. What do I need to do? Where do I start? Maybe you just need to rewatch this. You can always restart. So if you stuff up, you can start again the next day. If you stuff up 2 days in a row, you can start again on the third day because you're in a growth mindset. Don't be in a fixed mindset and give up on yourself and say, this is too hard. I can't commit. I can't do this. I don't have time. I'm too tired. My kids are driving me nuts. My work is crazy. Don't be that person. Be who you were born to be. You were born to be more than you think. You were born to be more than you are now. And there is more. There's so much more that you can achieve. And I really hope that this has served a purpose for you and that you found some value in it. And I hope, and I can't wait to hear of your successes. And I'll be back with another mindset workshop. Feel free to put any comments below with what your golden nugget was from today's session. And I would love, if you're courageous enough, to put below what one of your most important goals is. When you write it down, type it out, and you see it, then your brain says, this is what she needs to achieve. I've got to help make that happen. And then if you start repeating your habits, your brain starts to create a new neural pathway that creates that habit. Now, they said 22 days for a habit, 33 days for a habit. It's actually about 66 days to form a habit. So it takes a long time. So all I ask is for repetition of the habits that you wrote before. Can you do that? Can you promise yourself that you'll do that, or you'll do your best to do these habits every single day? Just try it. What's the worst that can happen from putting in more effort for yourself? It's a no-brainer. You've got it. I can't wait to hear all about your successes, guys. Bye for now.